I want to start with a quote that, honestly, it made me put the source material down for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
It's right at the beginning. It says, healing is not a straight line. It doesn't happen all at once.
Right.
And, on the surface, that sounds nice, like an Instagram caption. But when you're actually in it, when you're in pain or burnt out, do we really believe that?
We want the quick fix.
I absolutely do. My default is I have a headache, where's the pill? Or I'm sad, let me just binge a show until I forget.
It's the efficiency model, right? We apply it to our own biology. We treat ourselves like a broken toaster.
Totally.
But the source we're unpacking today, Rituals for Restoration of Body, Mind, and Soul, argues that we're more like a garden. It's circular, not linear. You have to tend to it.
Which brings us to, let's call it the elephant in the room with this text.
The spells part.
The spells part, yeah. When I saw healing spells, my skepticism radar went way off. I'm thinking cauldrons, are we talking about real magic here or psychology?
And that's the most important distinction to make right up front. The source is really clear.
Okay.
It defines a healing spell as an intentional act. It's a combination of focused intention, symbolism, emotional presence, and a kind of spiritual awareness.
So translate that for me. Is this just mindfulness with props?
In a way, yeah, but the props really matter.
Yeah.
Think of it as somatic marking.
Somatic marking.
Our brains are great at ignoring abstract thoughts. But when you light a candle or hold a stone, you're signaling to your nervous system that something significant is happening. You're making an internal desire external.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like dressing up for an interview. The clothes signal, it's time to be professional.
Precisely. These rituals are signaling it's time to heal. And the text says the primary goal isn't even the cure itself.
It's not.
No, it's emotional regulation. It's about calming the nervous system.
Right.
The book calls it creating a container for your pain, so you feel safe enough to actually process it.
And it breaks this down into that triad, body, mind, and soul, which again can sound a little cliche.
It can, but the way it explains the connection is really practical. It's a feedback loop.
How so?
Well, the text says, when one is wounded, the others often carry that weight. So think about it. If you have chronic pain in your body, how's your mind?
Oh, my patience is just gone, non-existent.
Exactly. So the mission for this deep dive is to really look at how we can intervene on each of these levels using these rituals.
But before we get into the specifics, there is a massive disclaimer in here that we have to talk about.
A very important one.
It says, very plainly, these rituals do not replace medical treatment or therapy.
And thank goodness for that. This isn't an either-y thing. It's a yes-and situation.
Right.
If you break your leg, please go to a doctor, get the cast. But the doctor fixes the bone. This ritual is for the human being who is scared and frustrated about being on crutches.
So it's about building hope while the biology does its work.
Exactly. Self-trust. Now, the rules of engagement here, the section on ethics I thought was fascinating.
Me too, because it has these really strict boundaries, especially about other people.
Consent is king. The source states you should never, ever perform a healing spell for someone else without their explicit informed consent.
Okay, but I can hear people pushing back on that.
Yeah.
Like, if my friend is sick and I want to light a candle for them or send good vibes, isn't that just being nice?
It comes down to control versus support. The text warns that often our desire to heal someone else is really about our discomfort with their pain. We want them fixed so we feel better.
Oof, that hits hard. So it's about controlling an outcome.
Right, so the intention should always be for support, not control. The mantra they give is, for the highest good, with harm to none.
I like that.
So maybe the ethical move is just to ask, hey, I'm lighting a candle for your comfort. Is that okay?
Okay, so we're respecting boundaries. What about the environment? Do I need, like, a special room and a gong?
Actually, the source is really anti-perfectionist. It says all you need is simplicity. Feel your feet on the floor. That's it. Grounding.
The hardest part for me in the preparation section was the instruction to release expectations. Because if I'm doing the ritual, I want the result.
Of course. It's transactional. But that mindset creates tension. And tension is the enemy of restoration. The goal is to get to a state of allowance. You're opening a door, not dragging someone through it.
Okay, so let's walk through them. The first ritual is for the body.
And the theme is support, strength, and restoration. And what I love here is the mental shift it forces.
What do you mean?
Usually when we're sick, we get angry at our body. We feel betrayed. Why are you failing me?
Oh, 100%. I treat my body like an insubordinate employee. I gave you coffee, now do the work.
Right. But this ritual flips that. It's about cooperation, seeing the body as a partner that's carrying a heavy load.
So, the setup. It calls for a white or green candle, And a bowl of water.
The colors are symbolic, white for purification, green for growth and repair. But the key tool is the water.
And the action is to place your hands over the water, not in it.
It's a gesture of offering, a very nurturing stance.
Then you say the invocation. It says to take 3 slow breaths and say, "Body that carries me, I offer you patience and care."
And then, may comfort grow where there is pain. May strength return in its own time.
In its own time. That's the key phrase, isn't it?
That's the radical acceptance. You're giving your body permission to not be efficient.
Then it asks you to visualize warmth moving through your body. I'm terrible at that. I just see the back of my eyelids.
It's not about actually seeing a light, it's about feeling the focus. When you imagine warmth in your knee, you're actually directing blood flow and neural attention there. It triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode.
Yeah.
That is the only state where your body can actually repair tissue. So the spell is basically a biohack.
A biohack to get out of stress mode so your immune system can do its job.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've made peace with the body. But for me, the loud part is usually my brain. The 3 a.m. worry loop.
And that's the second ritual for the mind. Theme is calm and clarity. And it starts with the key idea. Mental healing begins with safety.
This one asks for a blue or purple candle. I'm guessing that's for calming colors.
Yeah, they're on the cool end of the spectrum. They're visually quieting. They actually can lower your heart rate.
And the tool here is just paper and a pen, which I love because getting things out of my head is the only way I survive.
It's cognitive offloading. As long as a worry is just in your head, your brain keeps spinning it. Writing it down tells your brain, it's safe, it's on the paper, you can stop now.
So you write it all down, and then you fold the paper and place it beneath the candle base. That feels very symbolic.
It is. You're literally putting the difficulty under the light. You're placing it under the jurisdiction of a clearer mind.
And the invocation for this one is, mind that moves and mind that rests, may clarity replace the noise.
And then, may peace be allowed to enter without force or fear.
Without force. There it is again. We always try to beat our minds into silence.
Which just makes it scream louder. This suggests you can't command peace. You can only invite it. May peace be allowed to enter.
And at the end, you safely discard the paper. Burn it, shred it, whatever.
The physical action of removing it from your space is a rehearsal for letting go emotionally.
Okay, so we've done body and mind. But then there's this third one, the ritual for the soul. And this is where I think some people might check out. Soul is a loaded word.
It is. But in this context, think of soul as your deep sense of identity, of meaning. It's the part of you that feels fractured when you're grieving or burnt out. It answers the question, who am I?
The setup for this is a candle of any comforting color and a personal object, a stone, jewelry, a photo.
An anchor. When we go through trauma or loss, we dissociate, we feel unmoored. Holding a physical object that has meaning literally tethers you back to your own life.
And you hold the object, and the words they're pretty heavy. What was fractured may soften, what was lost may be honored.
And then I welcome myself back with kindness and time.
I welcome myself back. Wow, that's probably the most powerful line in the whole book.
I think so too. We abandon ourselves all the time to get work done or please other people. This is a formal invitation to come home to yourself.
And then you just sit, no writing, no visualizing, just sit and allow emotions to surface.
That's the hardest work of all, isn't it? Just sitting with what is.
The final instruction is just to thank yourself for showing up. It calls it an act of self-return.
Like you're validating your own existence just by being there.
Now, I know what you're thinking if you're listening to this. This sounds nice, but who has time for a green candle on a Tuesday morning when the kids are screaming?
A very valid point. And the source anticipates that there's an integration section.
The full body, mind, soul check-in takes about 30 seconds.
It's a portable ritual. Step 1, hand on your body. That's body. Step 2, notice your thoughts without judgment. I am stressed. That's mind. Step 3, take 1 deep breath. That's soul.
And there's an affirmation with it that I think I need to tattoo on my forehead.
Let me guess. I am allowed to heal slowly.
Yes. I am allowed to be whole, even while becoming.
Whole even while becoming. That's the paradox. We think we'll be whole when something happens. This is you're whole right now, even as a work in progress.
But let's play devil's advocate. Sustainability. I could see myself using this to bypass the actual work. I lit the candle. Why am I still tired?
And the source is very clear on that. It says magic supports healing. It doesn't demand it.
Or replace it.
Or replace it.
Yeah.
You can't light a green candle for health and then sleep 4 hours a night and eat garbage. The ritual is the intention. Your life is the action.
So what happens when it fails? You do everything right, the therapy, the ritual, and you still feel broken.
That's a very real, very painful place to be. And the text argues that failed spells aren't failures. It says healing magic works by softening resistance. It opens internal doors you can't see yet.
So it's working, just underground.
Yes, maybe the ritual didn't take away the depression today, but maybe it made you 5% more gentle with yourself about having depression. It's
Yeah.
a massive shift.
It's the difference between suffering and suffering with compassion. So, zooming out, we've looked at this source. It uses the language of spells, but when you strip it down, is this really just a manual for self-compassion?
I think that's the absolute core of it. These rituals are just structured conversations with yourself. They're a way of saying, I am worth the time it takes to light this candle.
In a world obsessed with productivity, stopping to do something useless, like holding a stone, is actually kind of a radical act.
It's an act of reverence. The source ends with that thought. You are not broken. Healing is about patience and reverence for yourself.
Can you treat your own exhausted self with that same reverence you'd give, I don't know, a sleeping baby?
That's the question, and it changes everything if you can.
So here is my challenge to you, listening right now. You don't need a candle, but just take the intention.
I offer you patience and care.
Right. Try saying that to yourself in the next hour. When you spill coffee or you forget to send that email, instead of, you idiot, just try, I offer you patience and care. See how it changes the temperature of your day?
It might be the most powerful spell you cast all day.
Thanks for going deep with us today.
Be good to yourself.